Dead as a Doornail, Book 6 of the Stan Kraychik Mysteries. Author, Grant Michaels. Publisher, St. Martin's Press, New York. Narrator, Eric Aust. Chapter 6. A few blocks from members only, I see a familiar Mercedes-Benz sedan double-parked in front of what looks like a hair salon. By the gold leaf lettering on the car's rear window, Gateway to Paradise, I know it's the same one that almost ran me down on Newberry Street. The engine is idling, polluting the air, but keeping the interior perfectly climate-controlled. Unlike the New England weather outside, the Megamobile probably has a security system with a setting for unattended idle, just like the brain of the bimbo who drives it. It's obvious she plans to come out shortly, so I hide behind a nearby tree and pull my visor cap further down to watch and wait. I almost feel like a real dick. Inside the salon, I see two women arguing. One is tall and slender, wearing a full-length fur coat and hat. She must be the car owner. The other is short and stocky and wears a sweatshirt and jeans. She's got to be the salon rat. The disparity in their height and body shape makes their argument appear cartoon-like, but their intense, aggressive jawbone action indicates otherwise. Finally, the tall woman comes out. She's in her late 20s, early 30s maybe. Her silhouette is extremely glamorous in a full-length chinchilla coat, worn open, and a matching hat. It's an ensemble Nicole would envy, along with the silhouette figure underneath. Her face is partly concealed by massive sunglasses, like some sexy secret agent in an old spy film that was never made. She looks up and down the street as she cautiously makes her way across the sidewalk. Though it's been partly cleared, Miss Amazon Glamour Girl is wearing spike-heeled kid-skin pumps, and she's trying to keep them dry. Or fool she. She unlocks the car door by remote control, and then opens it. She removes her fur hat and tosses it inside, releasing her massive hair from confinement. She looks up and down the street once more, causing tresses of long black hair to fan out over the plush collar of the coat and into the sunlight. The blue highlights signal an expensive dye job, since those sapphire glints usually occur only in natural black hair like Branco's. Once she's settled herself into the leather club chair that doubles as a driver's seat, she drives away. I watch her depart and get a make on the license plate. Gateway. She jams on the brakes and skids to a stop further down the street. She has spied me in her rearview mirror. I ease myself back behind the tree trunk, out of sight. Moments later, she drives off. But I know she's seen me. With any luck, my disguise has concealed my identity just as her fabulous costume has hers. "I'll get you, my pretty," I said softly. "And your killer car, too." I turned my attention back to the salon and noticed a hand-stenciled graphic sign on the door glass. Zuzu X. Is that a word? Or are those X's supposed to be scissors and combs? The other woman comes out now. In the sunlight, I see that she's very young, maybe 20, but tough-looking, with short, black, curly hair. The color of hers is real. She resumes clearing the sidewalk in front of the shop. Her face is rosy with good health, and the work of moving slush appears easy for her. Her eyes are dark and clever, like those of a ragazza. That's Italian for a street-smart girl. I come out of my hiding place and smile at her. She looks back wearily. I wave hello. She stops shoveling. "You want something?" she says. I'm new in the neighborhood, and I'm trying to get to know the local businesses." Sure," she says, like I'm some kind of nutcase who hides behind bushes and trees. "This is a hair salon," she says. "We do hair here." And then she continues shoveling. I watch her. Her motions are efficient and strong, every action deliberate and focused, young muscles hard at work. She catches me studying her. Hey, mister, I'm not interested in buying anything, if that's what you're up to. And no handouts either." "No," I say quickly. "Like I said, I bought some property," and she interrupts. "You want your hair cut? That's fine. Otherwise, this is a business establishment, and if you don't have any business here, then have a nice day." I pull off my cap and shake my longish red hair loose in the sunlight. Her mouth drops open. Remind you of anyone, I say. She stares for a moment, speechless. Then she says, You mean a hockey star? Dream on. She starts shoveling again, but her movements have lost their fluid efficiency. I tell her I own the house at the other end of Waltham Street. Which one? She says, The corner lot. She stops shoveling again. You bought that thing? I nod. I'm going to have it renovated. Maybe you know the contractor, a young guy named Tim Shaughnessy? She looks me up and down suspiciously. Never heard of him. He's in construction. Real cute guy. Had red hair like mine. Lots of people have red hair, she says. Then she puts one hand up to her mouth. Hey! What do you mean, had? I stare at her. She says, Did something happen to him? I nod. Are you shitting me, mister? Because if you aren't, I know people who can take care of you. Easy, doll. Don't call me doll. What happened to Timmy? I hesitate. I suppose you'll hear it sooner or later in this neighborhood. I remove my sunglasses, for this deserves a direct eye-to-eye. Then I tell her, Tim is dead. She throws down her snow shovel, and it clangs against the wet pavement. Liar! She yells and kicks the shovel. I know who you are, liar! Her eyes get watery. She looks at me with utter hatred. Did that bitch send you here? Which bitch? Selena. I don't know anyone named Selena. This is a real shitty joke. It's not a joke, I say. Tim Shaughnessy is dead. It happened at my house this morning. The young toughette kicks the shovel one more time and runs into the shop. I follow her. Inside, she's fighting to hold back tears. Timmy's okay, she says. I know he's okay. You're just trying to scare me. Selena put you up to this. She told me she hired someone to follow Timmy, and it's you. No one hired me. I told you. I found Tim dead in my house this morning. I had no idea you knew him. I'm just asking around the neighborhood. I'm sorry it happened like this. Suddenly she screams, Who was it? But she doesn't wait for an answer. I'll kill him. I'll kill whoever did it. She cries and howls. She throws plastic shampoo bottles. She kicks one of the two styling chairs and sets it spinning. She kicks the other one, spinning it the other way. They're kind of pretty, actually, the two chairs spinning like that, and they dissipate some of her screaming. And then finally she falls into my arms and breaks down into heavy sobs. After a while she quiets down, and I realize she's in the best state of mind to answer questions. It's called defenseless. I say, Do you want to tell me about you and Tim? She blows her nose, fusses a while with the tissue, then finally she talks. Timmy and me were real close, she begins. She shakes her head, fingers a few of her dark curls, and goes on. We met last year. He just got dumped by someone, but he didn't want to talk about it. Not the details. I figure maybe it was something he was ashamed of. So I didn't ask him. I just told him it would turn out all right. After that, we started going out together. He told me once about a priest who touched him when he was young. I told him it didn't matter, not now, but I know about those pure feelings. Pure feelings can go berserk. Did someone touch you too? No, she says. I just know. Then one day Timmy tells me he never made it with a girl. Not all the way. He said he was a virgin that way, and I told him it didn't matter to me. Tim said he was a virgin? What's wrong with that? She says. Nothing, I say. I'm not about to tell her. Tim Shaughnessy was certainly no virgin the other way. Not now, not after I've already dropped the bombshell of his death. She says, I think Timmy had all these doubts in his mind because he thought he was gay, but he really wasn't. When I knew of him, he seemed pretty sure of himself. Then you didn't know him at all, she says. I told him I'd wait for him to figure it out, no matter how long it took. Maybe you're waiting for the wrong bus. What bus? She says. Timmy and me both drive. She looks at me wearily, then continues. So after we were going out a while, Timmy tells me... She bites her lower lip. Timmy tells me he started seeing someone. A scene? Like dating? Yeah, she says, like dating. So he broke up with you. She looks down. How can you break up if you're not really going together? She looks up again. I mean, him and me went out all the time, but it was like friends, and I guess I thought, well, when we went out, neither one of us looked at anyone else, so I thought Timmy liked me the same way. I liked him. That's what I thought. But then he got all tangled up with this other person. So it was serious. Yeah, she says, serious. Do you know who it was? Her eyes flash at me, and I know the spell is breaking. Why do you care about that? She says. It might help the police find Timmy's killer. She ponders this, then says carefully, I think I'm talking too much. How do I know you're even telling me the truth? You have to trust me. Why? She says. Who are you anyway? The party's over, and she won't tell me much more now. She says, you just come in here and upset me and get me talking, and maybe it's not even Timmy who's dead. I tell her, it's Tim all right. I found him. Look, what's your name anyway? Angie, she says. Angie what? Just Angie. Well, Angie, I think you ought to go to the police. She calls loudly. I guess I made a joke. The police, she says. Her street-smart eyes gaze hard into mine. You knew Timmy, I say. You knew him well. You can help them find his killer. Go to the headquarters and talk to a guy named Branco. Lieutenant Branco. Who? She says, recoiling as though someone is going at her with rusty scissors. Get out of here. You and your cops. Leave me alone. It's all right, I said, trying to calm her again. It's all right. I'm sorry. I don't need no cops, okay? Okay, but you can help. I help number one, she says. Angie has recovered her feisty self, or appears to anyway. Fact is, she's probably in shock, no thanks to my indelicate message about Tim, her supposed beloved. I tell her I'm going to ask around the neighborhood, see what else I can find out. Is there anyone I should talk to? I say. Angie thinks a moment, then says simply, no. Didn't you just say Timmy was dating someone? Never mind about that, she says. Angie, he's dead. You already told me. Okay then, what about Timmy's friends? Angie said, he didn't have any. Come on, I said. A cute, friendly guy like him? He must have had a whole fan club. I'm telling you, he was a loner. Then what about his family? They're all gone, she says. Gone? You mean dead? That's right, says Annie. That's how Timmy got the money to start his business. All he wanted to do was work, and all you guys ever saw was a piece of meat. I protest. I didn't. Sure, says Angie. Look, I hired him, didn't I? It was his first big job. Maybe you were hoping for something more later on? And maybe you're too suspicious for your own good. I know how you gay guys are, she says. We're not all the same. Sure, she says again. What about that woman who was just here? Did she know Tim? Which woman? The one you were arguing with? Who was arguing? She says. It looked like it to me. Andy says, I don't think that's anybody's business. She looks at her watch. Right now I got a date with the weights. You work out. She says, everybody's got to work out. Even when they get bad news? Especially then. I tell her I'll probably be back sometime soon. Andy says, you come back here and maybe I'll take care of you. I can't tell if it's a threat or a promise. She says, whoever's doing your hair now is a real doodah. I do it myself. Yeah, she says, I can tell. I leave XUXUX and head down Waltham Street toward Tremont at the far end of Waltham. I see that same big Mercedes-Benz sedan double parked in front of my old house, the recent crime scene. As I approach the place, the black Benz pulls away. The house has been sealed and festooned with bright yellow tape. Police line, do not cross. Not a good start for a future guest house. As I enter the main commercial area of the South End, I wonder again about the bodybuilding industry and its legion disciples. Even this girl Angie works out. Is anyone doing epidemiological research? Or are all the researchers too busy working out? Will muscle awareness ever recede to allow some other social trend its moment? Something not quite so quantifiable. Or are we doomed from now on to compare and contrast each other with tape measures? Gay Mysteries audiobooks. I think it is easy to hate a label, but a face humanizes the word. So this effort is twofold: to offer comfort to those like myself that your world didn't end because you don't fit into the view of acceptable society on both sides, and in hopes of helping those with family that are LGBTQ, that it doesn't mean we are aliens from the child they once knew. Reassure them so they can maybe be supportive at the same time, being true to their values.